Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're still watching Nile Cruise, and now we're going to talk about Cairo. When it's a cultural capital, Cairo is capturing a global spotlight once again. In a recent feature by Business Insider Africa, Egypt's capital has been hailed as a premier cultural hub of the Arab world, also celebrated for its master class in blending monumental heritage with a thriving contemporary arts scene. And to talk more about this, we are very delighted to have with us here Mr. Salib Mikhail. He is a tourism expert. Thank you very much,
You're
Mr.
welcome.
Salib.
My pleasure to be with you, sure.
Thank you. Mr. Salib, Cairo is the city of culture, and also it's rewriting the playbook on the cultural tourism. Tell us more about this.
Yes, actually, we are so glad as Egyptians that Cairo was chosen to be one of the best 10 cities in the Middle East for its cultural backgrounds.
Yeah.
And it's important to explain the whole thing from the beginning, because if you talk about Cairo, it's actually the fifth capital in the history of Egypt. If you say that history of Egypt is almost 5,000 years old, so we are talking about Memphis. That was the first capital of Egypt, which is close to Cairo nowadays. Then Luxor, sometimes called Thebes, was the second. Then we come to Akhetaten, the third. Then Alexandria, the fourth. Then we come to Cairo, the fifth capital. We're talking about 7th century time it was erected. So history of Cairo dates back almost 1,000, 1,300 years, full of cultures, because the Valley of Cairo, that's having the heritage of our ancient pharaonic sites as monumental sites. For example, we got the pyramids of Giza, we got Memphis, we got Saqqara. Lots of areas date back to the ancient pharaonic time. Then we got also lots of stuff dating back to the Christian Coptic culture and the Islamic time too, especially the old Islamic area of Cairo with the varieties we have. And also Cairo got the influence of the Ottoman culture that came to Egypt end of the 15th century. And the late Ottoman time got influence also with the French type of culture, especially time of the King Muhammad Ali. So look at this rich variety of cultures mixed together. That enriched the heritage of culture and art of this city and made it very, very special compared to other cities in the region. One of the good things also that we're getting closer and closer now to the modern touch of architecture, and that's helping a lot to have direct contact with European and the Western world type of culture.
Of course. Mr. Salib, how significantly does the opening of the Grand Egyptian Museum alter the traditional short-stay tourist itinerary into a long-term cultural engagement?
Well, it's one of those amazing big projects done in the history of the world. The opening of the Grand Museum, the gem, was a special touch made recently, not to the Egyptians, to the whole world, to give them the right impression about Egyptian history with the modern way of showing that. For example, if you talk about the design, if you talk about the way they exhibit the monuments, the lighting, the security, the air conditioning, everything done in the best high technological way. And that's helping a lot to give good impression to the Western world about how modern Egypt is exposing its culture and history to the world.
تاريخ ساحر مليء بالأسرار، نقوش عابرة للأزمنة والحدود، حضارة ملء السمع والأبصار، سيرة ملوك وملكات عظام شغلتهم الأبدية فامتلكوا مفتاح الحياة، لنقف أمامهم مبهورين بما عرفوه منذ آلاف السنين، ونحاول اليوم فك رموزه في كل حجر بنوه، في كل حرف دونوه، على الجدران والبرديات والتوابيت، علوم قديمة قدم التاريخ وسر من أسرار الخلود. والآن أصبح للعظمة عنوان في مصر. 100,000 حكاية عن العقيدة، العلم، الحب، الفن، عن الإنسانية، آثار تعرض لأول مرة منذ اكتشافها، تكشف المزيد من الأسرار لتحكي قصتهم كاملة المتحف المصري الكبير أكبر متحف في العالم لعرض آثار الحضارة المصرية القديمة.
Mr. Salib, beyond the pyramids, how is the modern independent art scene in downtown Cairo being integrated into global luxury tourism packages?
Wow, that's one of the amazing things running nowadays. The area of downtown Cairo, lots of people, they like to call it the old classic area. But I like to call it the rich value area of Cairo, because if you have a look, for example, the surrounding areas of Midan al-Tahrir, which is the Tahrir Square,
Yeah.
most of the buildings date back to the time of the end of the family of King Muhammad Ali, and especially time of King Farouk. And we know the family of King Farouk, they were influenced a lot with the French style of culture and arts. So, for example, design of the balconies of downtown Cairo, the very French style, most of it, mixed with Egyptian ancient style. And we can make use of that a lot to show the world a new way to attract tourists to that area, to see part of the history of Cairo, because there was a plan done by Muhammad Ali and his descendants to make Cairo looking like Paris, the way it looks from outside. And we can make use of that idea nowadays and enrich it to grab more tourists coming to see that.
Mr. Salib, with the rise of digital transformation and the IT, what is the artificial intelligence and interactive technology playing a role in the museums of Egypt lately?
Well, to be honest with you, we are living now already in the generation of AI.
Yes.
AI used everywhere in the world in different ways, different kind of careers. And now it's time in Egypt to make use of the AI in our field of tourism, especially the museum systems here. AI, or artificial intelligence, helps a lot to contact and communicate museums all over the world with new updates daily, and not just daily, moment by moment. Plus, it's helping a lot also for safety and security of antiquities kept in the museums. For example, for a long time, lots of museums all over the world, the highest way of security they had, that was heat detecting systems, sometimes connected with satellites. With AI, we can have more advanced system of security to do that job faster, easier, and more safety than the heat detecting system. So we can make use of that also in our museums in Egypt, and Grand Museum is one of those targets, of course.
Mr. Salib, the report by the Africa Insider mentions a thriving contemporary scene. What role do local private galleries and independent curators play in driving this international recognition?
Well, actually, if we talk about that, we need to care a lot about how privately run business can develop field or the career of tourism in different ways. And it's good that we have some investors now in Egypt and businessmen involved in making their own private galleries and ideas and projects to improve that. And to contact also the global international big business centers for that too. That contact within the next few years is going to develop and promote the whole thing for better targets in the field of tourism, increasing the number of tourists, giving also better impression about tourism in Egypt, and tell Westerns the real life of Egyptian people to be updated day to date.
Mr. Salib, as a tourism expert, looking at the next decade, what is the ultimate benchmark for Cairo to not just maintain but scale its position as a top-tier global cultural capital?
Well, of course, Cairo is a special case in the Middle East. Cairo is history, Cairo people, Cairo culture, and that's why, please, I need to say it, Cairo is a cosmopolitan city. I mean the word. It's a melting pot of all cultures and religions and beliefs. And the good thing that people accept each other and respect each other with that variety. And that's enriching the value of Cairo as a city.
Of course.
All what we need is just to tell the world more about Cairo. Well, Actually, one of the good things that lots of businessmen already have their own ideas and projects and galleries ideas of promoting tourism and give good impression about Cairo to the rest of the world. We have to say that Cairo, especially Cairo in the Middle East, is really a cosmopolitan city.
Yeah.
It's a mixture of cultures and religions and beliefs, and people accept each other with all that kind of variety, and they help to develop each other with that variety. And that makes the city of Cairo unique and special. All what we need to do is to tell the world more about Cairo, because every country got varieties,
Yeah.
and we have to tell the world about these varieties we got. That will help a lot to increase tourism, to bring more tourists also, and to give good idea to the Western world what is Cairo, not just Egypt, what Cairo city is like.
Yeah. We want to talk more, Mr. Salib, about the investments that were lately coming to Cairo from the Gulf countries and also from some European countries. Tell us more about this.
Well, investments coming to Egypt is going up within the last 5 years more than what's expected, because we are so happy as Egyptians that finally Western world plus Gulf country investors and businessmen, they realize the real value of the location of Egypt, plus the heritage background of the culture and history of Egypt, plus how Egyptians nowadays are able to deal with these changes. So the young generations now, they are very well educated. They know how to contact tourists in the right way, how to give impression to the Western world about Egypt. So the real lines of contact really existing and developing so fast in Egypt. So that encouraged the businessmen to go for the risk. They call it risk of spending their money, but they know that they're not going to waste that money that way, because already what they see with their eyes nowadays about Egypt, giving them the trust that Egyptians are able to manage it, they're able to deal with it and develop what they invest in Egypt.
Mr. Salib, tell us more about the latest investments by the Gulf countries and also European countries in Egypt and also the North Coast. Tell us more about this.
Well, actually, businessmen and investors from the Western world and the Gulf country, they noticed the big changes happening in Egypt and the changes to the Egyptian people also about having better quality of education. They know how to deal with Westerns and non-Egyptians when they visit Egypt, how to give them the good impression and the right impression about Egypt. That's helping a lot. Number two, economical-wise, economy of Egypt, which is doing great within the last 5 years, gave the businessmen of the Gulf countries and the Western world the trust that they can spend their money and they can invest their money in Egypt without having it as a kind of risk. But in real, they can see that it's going to have good results in the future, and that will return back as good income to them later. So that's a kind of direct link between businessmen and Egyptian people through the trust from both sides. And it's clear now through our life and economy in Egypt.
And how important is the regional stability in supporting tourism, Mr. Salib?
That's a very important question. Safety and security in the region. Of course, lots of Western, they think that the whole region of the Middle East is a boiling area, but in real, it's not like that. Unfortunately, some kind of media, they try to give bad impression about the Middle East and what's going on. Can you imagine that in the Western world, for example, some of the tourists in Western, they don't know what's the difference between Gaza and Giza? They think that Giza and Gaza, they are almost the same thing, it's just the difference of pronunciation only. But in real, they don't know what's the difference because they've never been to the Middle East. They just listen, they don't ask about details of information about it. So I think that our job as Egyptian people, we are securing already our land. And we trust our president and the government and our army. They're doing their best. And that's why when we talk about like the region where we are, Egypt is one of the safest. And that's why we got tourists coming, we got Westerns coming, we got Arabs coming from the Gulf countries too, investing their money, touring, enjoying their time, relaxing, going to the Mediterranean beaches and so on of Egypt. And that's all because it's very peaceful. How to guarantee that's gonna last? That is the job of Egyptian people also. To keep economy going up, number one, Strength of our army and power of security, number 2, and having friendly and good relationship with the whole world, that's number 3, and that's what's already happening nowadays.
Mr. Salib, in what ways are traditional Egyptian crafts and also woodwork being preserved or repositioned to appeal to the modern high-end international travelers?
Well, lots of Egyptian local crafts, were hidden away from the Western world. And believe me, it's not just the wooden artwork. It's the wooden artworks we have in Egypt. And of course, we are very famous with manufacturing furniture in a very famous city called Dumyat, if you heard about it.
Yeah.
And of course, we are exporting lots of it now. Plus, not just the wooden stuff. We got carpets, handmade carpets. We got pottery. We got varieties. But again, I got to focus on how to make the Western world know about it.
Yeah.
So that's helping through documentaries, through some of the videos, through YouTube or social media. That's going to help a lot. And that will bring more tourists to come and have a look at our craft stuff, buy it, or make use of it, or to tell the world more about it.
Mr. Salib, if you're going to recommend one place to visit for a tourist, what will it be?
If it's historical,
yes,
of course the pyramids. That's historical. And if I talk about modern place, I'm so proud of the new capital. I encourage Westerns and tourists to go to see the new capital of Egypt, because that's the future of Egypt. How modern is it? How clean is it? How environmentally secured is it? And that's going to be good for people coming to see that. So that's what I like to show tourists, those two places, the modern and the ancient.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Salib Mikhail, the tourism expert, thank you very much for
You're
joining
welcome.
us today.
You're welcome. I do appreciate that so much, and
Thank
my
you.
pleasure to be with you. Thank you.
Mr.